In the heart of the city, amidst the rush and clamor, lived a woman named Sarah. As a single mother to a bright-eyed daughter, Maya, Sarah's world was a constant balancing act. Love was abundant in their small apartment, but money was always tight. Every dollar was stretched, every penny counted. Life had a way of testing her strength, but her spirit, fueled by her love for Maya, never wavered. One particularly grueling week, after paying rent and bills, Sarah found herself with just $17 left in her wallet. This small sum had to last them until her next paycheck. $17 for food, for bus fare, for any unexpected needs. As she walked home from her cleaning job, her mind raced with calculations, trying to make the impossible possible. The weight on her shoulders felt heavier than usual. As she turned a corner, she saw an elderly man sitting on a park bench. He looked disoriented and frail, his clothes a bit disheveled. He was muttering to himself, his eyes filled with a deep, unsettling confusion. People hurried past, their faces buried in their phones, oblivious to the old man's distress. But Sarah couldn't ignore him. Something in his vulnerable state resonated with the protective instinct she felt for her own daughter. She approached him cautiously. "Excuse me, sir, are you all right?" she asked, her voice gentle. The man looked up, his gaze distant. I don't know where I am," he stammered. "I was just going for a walk, and now everything is different. I can't remember my way back." He looked down at his hands, trembling slightly. "I haven't eaten all day," he added, his voice barely a whisper. Sarah's heart ached. She looked at the man, then glanced at the meager $17 in her purse. It was her family's lifeline for the next few days. Buying him a proper meal would mean she and Maya would have to make do with even less. It was a choice between a stranger's immediate need and her own family's security. But looking into his lost eyes, she saw not a stranger, but a father, a grandfather, someone's beloved family member who was scared and alone. In that moment, her decision was clear. She couldn't leave him like this. "Come with me," she said, with a reassuring smile. "Let's get you something warm to eat." She guided him to a small diner nearby, the kind with checkered floors and the smell of coffee hanging in the air. She sat him down in a booth and ordered him a hearty meal, a hot roast beef sandwich, a side of fries, and a steaming cup of tea. As he ate, a little color returned to his cheeks. He devoured the food like a man who hadn't eaten in days. Sarah watched him, a mix of relief and anxiety swirling within her. The bill came to $16.50. She paid with her last $17, receiving only 2 quarters in change. Her safety net was gone. After he finished, the man seemed a bit clearer. "Thank you," he said, his voice stronger now. "My name is Arthur." He still couldn't remember his address or a phone number. Sarah knew she couldn't just leave him. Using her phone, she started searching for local community centers and police stations, hoping someone had reported him missing. While she was on the phone, a sleek black car pulled up to the diner. A man in a sharp suit jumped out, his face etched with worry. He rushed inside, his eyes scanning the room, and then they locked onto Arthur. "Dad!" he exclaimed, rushing to the table. "I've been looking everywhere for you. We were so worried." Arthur's face lit up with recognition. "Robert, my boy." The two embraced, a scene of pure relief and love. Robert then turned his attention to Sarah. "Who are you?" he asked, his tone a mix of suspicion and gratitude. Sarah, a bit intimidated, simply explained, "I found your father on a bench. He was lost and hungry, so I brought him here for a meal." Robert's expression soft. He looked at the empty plates, then at Sarah. He pulled his father aside for a moment, and Arthur explained how this kind woman had used her own money to feed him. Robert's eyes welled with emotion. He approached Sarah again, his demeanor completely changed. "My father has Alzheimer's," he explained. "He wanders off sometimes. We have a caregiver, but he's quick. I can't thank you enough for what you did." He then asked, "How much did you spend?" Sarah, feeling a little embarrassed, mumbled, "It was nothing, really. I'm just glad he's safe." But Robert insisted. When Sarah admitted it was $16.50, Robert looked at her with a new understanding. He could see the weariness in her eyes, the simple clothes she wore. He sensed she didn't have much to spare. "You spent what was likely your last dollar on my father, a complete stranger, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Kindness? Like that? It's priceless. Robert pulled out his checkbook. My name's Robert Chamberlain. My father is the most important person in the world to me. You didn't just buy him a meal. You kept him safe. You showed him a compassion that most people wouldn't. He wrote a check and handed it to Sarah. When she looked down, she gasped. He had written it for $50,000. I can't accept this, she stammered, her hands trembling as she tried to give it back. Please, Robert insisted, gently pushing it back towards her. This isn't a payment. It's a thank you. It's to help someone who helps others. Please, allow me to do this. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she stared at the check. This single act of kindness, this choice to help another human being, had just changed her life and Maya's life forever. It was more than just money. It was a powerful affirmation that goodness in the world gets rewarded. But Robert wasn't finished. He offered Sarah a job, managing the charitable foundation he ran in his father's name. A position with a stable salary and benefits that would provide long-term security for her and Maya. He saw in her the exact empathy and integrity he wanted at the heart of his organization. Sarah went home that night, a different woman. She hugged Maya tighter than ever, her heart overflowing with gratitude. Her last $17 had not been an expense, but an investment in humanity. It was a lesson she would carry with her forever. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. It can ripple outwards, returning to you in the most unexpected and beautiful ways. Thanks for watching our story today. If you were moved, please like and subscribe for more inspiring content. See you next time.